Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away.
See how easy that is? It's a handheld cloud maker. We don't see it that way, but in essence, that's what it does. It creates vapor. You blow the smoke, and they sell it to you in the guise of a healthier device to stop smoking. There's a famous quote that says, "He who controls the past controls the future. He who controls the present controls the past." It's just a bit of a 30-second detour, and I'll get to the clouds. A couple videos back, I made a claim that some of my viewers should go check out Roger at Mud Fossil, because this is a biologist who is looking at rocks and saying that they used to be something different. You know, I don't know if that's true or not. It's a rabbit hole. It's cool to look at and entertaining. But the point that I'm getting at with that quote is that we are so far away from the way the world was meant to be by our Creator, and that we've been lied to about everything, that it would be better to at least be open to taking a look at it, because the evidence that's mounting that this biologist that studies these things is presenting to just be open to look at it. That's all I'm saying. We're so far away, and we've been indoctrinated to think that the world is a certain way that it makes it a lot easier to manipulate us. Now, there's a gentleman that has a website called Plain Truth, and he's done some awesome work. He covered the California wildfires very well, and how unnatural that they were. The other day he came out with a video about weather warfare, basically, how they're manipulating the weather. Most of us in the truth community believe it to be so, and we see evidence of it. I'd like to talk about that today, because I worked in the area where they're doing these things, and I didn't even see it being done right in front of my face. What I mean by that is, I graduated high school, never went to college, and as some of my viewers know, I used to work in the plants, you know, making $30 an hour. It's a trade, but there's got to be a reason why they keep, you know, people of what they would consider a lower education blinded by, you know, what we consider like really good money, and just going in there and doing a craft. I was a pipe fitter. You know, we lined up the pipes for the welders, and they welded it to build a system. Now, the reason I'm bringing up a Plain Truth is because in the video, and there's a link below to his video, he's talking about how the weather systems have collapsed. I don't personally believe that. We could debate it all day. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at it spiritually. I see it as the enemy trying to invert whatever was meant by the Father, by our Creator. I'm bringing this up because in a Plain Truth video, you'll see them obviously making clouds. He was mentioning how he's pointing out what they call cooling towers, and basically what a cooling tower is it's a radiator for a plant. They filter calcium water through these cooling fans, and it just, you know, trickles down and gets colder. I'm sure there's more to the process than that, but that's the basis of it. After watching this video, I'm thinking, man, you're really close, but you're just off by a little bit. Now, I've been in the plants before when they do, it's like a startup. Whenever you have a shutdown, you replace all the nuts and bolts and stuff, and you just redo the plant basically to have it, you know, working correctly so that it doesn't explode whenever all the pressure's up. But one of the things that they do on these giant tanks is they do a purge. Now, there's a nitrous purge where they put nitrous into the system and it's supposed to clear everything out. And then there's another purge where they pressurize these giant tanks and they shoot smoke way up into the air. It's not smoke, it's basically clouds. And where have we seen that before? With NASA over in Mississippi.
So they built this place in the wetlands of Mississippi.
The point that I'm getting at is they use people like myself that were blinded by money and a craft to build. It's sectioned off, much like how, you know, they built the atom bomb. You have a specific job, you do this one job, you work on the pipe, and then you move on to the next piece of pipe. You're a welder, you weld the pipe, you move on to the next piece of pipe. You know, electrician, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. There's a big difference between the people that are building the plant and the people that work at the plant. You know, they're called operators. You talk to them, you get permits from them, but other than that, you don't know much about the process of the plant. You know, there's some of it, there's a basis to it, but you'll see blatantly in this video of how there are storm systems being created inland between the fires over in California and how the clouds are being produced in the south, and the actual the way that the cloud systems are moving in the exact opposite direction than we remember them whenever I was a kid. They're using these plants. Most of them were like polymer plants, polymers and everything, plastic, diapers, hair gel. It's all over the place. But there's something else there. There's a reason for the plant that they're selling chemicals, they're creating chemicals and selling them, and they're saying that's the process, that's why the plant is built. And yet, many times on the shutdown while I was there, they're like, put your earplugs in, you know, put your earphones on, because you need double hearing protection. It's so loud. Again, just like the video in NASA.
Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself.
And these huge clouds are just being produced. And they call that a purge right before a startup. Generally, they don't do that when there's a ton of people in there, but I remember on certain occasions that they did, and I didn't even see it, you know, for what it was. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because after watching that video, there's clearly clouds being produced, you know, from inland, and I found it interesting. If anybody knows any more about some of those processes, I'm sure he would, Plain Truth would appreciate that. He covers the weather a lot. So anyway, God bless and have a good day.
It's raining! That's unbelievable! Oh, NASA's playing God.
Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away.
I don't know if you've heard about this, but New Orleans had one of the most destructive storms since Katrina.
We are on cloud 12 because that's how many new types of clouds have been added to this historic update coming from meteorologists. I'm a little biased, right? Exciting stuff, guys. All right, just a sample of the new additions that we have. Meteorologists, sky watchers, daydreamers, we're all geeking out, guys.